Aloha, folks, and welcome to this latest edition of Five Questions. It's a conversation with community leaders that appears right here on KHVH Radio, of course, and always on the homepage of HawaiiReporter.com. It's a pleasure to welcome on board with us now in his new capacity as chairman of the Hawaii State GOP. It's Mr. David Chang. Aloha, David.
Aloha, Rick. Thank you for having me on your show today.
We appreciate you being with us. Well, listen, we're going to jump right on in. We have 5 questions for you, of course.
Sure.
Always like to start off with telling us a little bit about yourself, if you wouldn't mind.
Yeah, definitely. I was born in California, but I've lived here in Hawaii for the past 10 years now. I graduated from West Point, and after graduating from West Point, I came out to Hawaii as an East-West scholar, got my master's here at the University of Hawaii, and was stationed up at Schofield Barracks. Mm-hmm. I deployed to Iraq, 06-07, with the 25th Infantry Division. I left active duty end of 2008 and joined the Hawaii Army National Guard, where I currently command the military intelligence company for the Hawaii Guard. Now in the civilian world, I am the CEO and president of Chang Holding Company, which is a holding company for a couple companies, several companies, one of them being a wealth management firm, Wealthbridge, and the other construction renovation design firm called CS Design Builders. And now also I am involved in the political world, and now I'm honored to be the chair of the Hawaii Republican Party.
You know, great resume, and it connotes a lot of experience.
Well, thank you, I guess.
In a lot of different ways, and I'm sure that's going to help in your new endeavor. I guess the basic question in question number 2, David, is this. Tell us, why are you a Republican?
Sure, and that's a great question. When my parents immigrated to the United States, I'm a second-generation immigrant, and so I really got to see firsthand how hard my parents worked. And I truly believe in the American dream, where if you have a system where you reward hard work, innovation, people taking the initiative, then you're really going to get people who are going to provide a lot for society and be able to provide a better living for themselves, their families, and the community. And I believe that the Republican ideals match providing people with the American dream, is rewarding the individualism of people coming, working hard. The Republican platform has the L life, and I agree with that. I think it's great. You know, liberty, limited government, individual responsibility, fiscal accountability, and equality of opportunities. Those are Republican principles. Those are what I believe in and what I value, and I know many do as well.
You know, it sounds like you're describing pretty much the whole community of Hawaii.
Yes, exactly. That's why I think everyone should be Republican in Hawaii.
and I guess that would probably be just a companion question. Why are there not more people that join the Republican Party? Because it sounds like you really are expressing a great deal for the vast majority of folks here.
Sure, and I think Hawaii is different from the mainland, as we all know. We have our own culture that we kind of subscribe to here in Hawaii, and I believe that the history of Hawaii has had a very big impact on the current political system. Where 50, 60 years ago, when you had your Big Five, definitely it was a good thing that the Democrats rose up. They were able to have a balance in the government system since you had one party dominate 50 years ago. Unfortunately, now it's gone the reversal, where another party, the Democrats, are dominating the legislature with a one-sided legislation and policies. And I think as people understand that the history of where we come from and where we need to go, people see, yes, we're a very strong democratic state, but in order for us to continue to grow, succeed, we're going to have a viable two-party system here in the state of Hawaii.
And that good segue into question number 3. And, of course, we're talking with David Chang, who is the newly appointed. Was it an appointment or an election, David?
An election.
It was an election. Newly elected chair of the state GOP. I did have a question about GOP and the seemingly lacking of representation in elective office here in Hawaii, and I think you gave a pretty good explanation as to why. So the companion question to that would be probably kind of obvious. What is your plan as GOP chair to help even out that playing field?
Right, and definitely it's an uphill battle. I do freely admit that. There's several things that I have goals coming into it. Number one, we're going to have to raise money. We're going to have to get out of debt. We're going to have to raise money so we can help the party and also the candidates for 2012. 2012 is a great opportunity for, again, us as Republicans to create a viable two-party system so we have balance in our government. Another thing we want to do is we want to recruit and train strong, qualified candidates. We need to give the people of Hawaii a choice that it's not just one party, but it's actually a matter of candidates that are well qualified to be able to enact good legislation. The other thing that we want to do is we want to get the message out. We want people to know this is what the Republicans value. And Rick, you even said it yourself. The LI principles, all of Hawaii believes that, and we need to let people know that. So I believe making sure that we communicate that properly. Also, recruiting and re-engaging volunteers and expanding the base of the party is very crucial. With 2012 coming up, we need as much help as we can get. I know that I don't have another half an hour to go into it, but those are essentially the things that I'll need to do as the chair of the party.
And speaking with David Chang, David, if folks wanted to contact you, how's the best way?
Sure. They can email me at david@gophawaii.com. That's the best way to get a hold of me. Again, the email, david@gophawaii.com.
You know, we have many challenges, and I think depending on who you speak with, those challenges and their priorities may change a bit. But it's clear that we do have some things that we need to work on here in Hawaii. If you could, David, for question number 4, kindly identify what you see as the top 3 real challenges facing Hawaii.
Sure.
And what would be the GOP solution to some of those issues?
Sure. Definitely the first one is the economy and jobs, especially small businesses. Historically, every recession that we've been in, the small business community has let us out of it. And being a small businessman myself, I understand how difficult it is. And the government can either help small businesses or stand in the way. In Hawaii, we have a reputation, and we're ranked near the bottom on top states to do business in. So I really believe that the Republican message, Republican legislation, Republican elected officials, candidates want to have a vibrant business community here that hires workers, that provides jobs, provides training to continue to expand and grow the Hawaii economy. Another thing is we need to be more diversified. With tourism and the military being our 2 largest economic drivers, we need to make sure that we are able to diversify beyond that, so if anything happens to those 2 large industries, Hawaii will be safe. Mm-hmm. The second thing is education. By far, having an educated workforce is crucial to the future of Hawaii. And I believe that the Republican message of empowering teachers and principals at their level, giving the funding that they need at their level, is crucial in order to move forward for the education system. And the third thing that I would say, there's many of them, but I guess one of the top things that I see is energy use here in Hawaii. As you can see, our prices continue to rise. We have the highest energy costs in America. 90% of our energy is imported through fossil fuels, and we pay billions of dollars every year going out, and a lot of the recipients are countries that are not friendly to the United States. So it's almost we're stabbing ourselves in the back, essentially, with what we're doing. So I believe that we need to have a good energy policy, and Governor Lingle said it very well with the Clean Energy Initiative of making sure that we're moving into alternative sources of energy. So I guess in a nutshell, that's the top 3 things that I believe Hawaii needs to deal with, and the Republican Party has the proper message and the proper legislation to make sure that we succeed.
While we're on that vein, and I'll get to question number 5 in just a moment, just want to get your take on APEC. What did you think of the conference, and what emerged from it?
Oh, I think it was a great conference. I was actually in a different role. I was activated as a National Guardsman, Hawaii National Guards, as the liaison to the FBI. So in my role, it was good because it was very quiet. Surprisingly, there were no major incidences. The protesters were peaceful. We respect their viewpoints, and there weren't anything violent. The 21 countries that came together, I truly believe that we had to take advantage of what came out of it, of countries agreeing that, yes, we need to work closely together. President Obama did mention, China has to work well with the United States with the trade imbalance, with devaluing the currency to make sure that Do we have the balance when it comes to our deficits? So meetings are not enough. With the meetings, you have to actually execute and enact a lot of the policies that you're talking about. That's a win-win situation, and that's what we have to move forward. We have to take advantage of some of the good that came out of it.
Talking with David Chang, he is the newly elected chair of the Hawaii State GOP, the Hawaii Republican Party, enjoying this edition of 5 Questions, which takes us to number 5. So, David, from your perspective, how relevant is Hawaii in national politics, and how would Hawaii benefit from GOP congressional representation?
It's extremely, extremely important. Right now, the Republicans have the majority in the House, and we have 2 Democratic senators, 2 Democratic congressmen, and unfortunately, because they're in the minority, they're unable to bring in legislation that supports Hawaii. Typical example is the East-West Center. The Democratic delegation really couldn't do much to gain funding for it. That's why if we have GOP representation, we have people from Hawaii that are able to work with the majority and say Hawaii is a very important state, and we need to be able to support the Pacific area. And right now, unfortunately, we cannot do that because we don't have anybody in the majority caucus.
You know, it's been a pleasure getting to know David a little bit better. David, of course, a guest on the program several times, but now in his capacity as the chair of the GOP. Hopefully we're going to spend more time together. So on that note, David, how about your email address one more time, please?
Thank you very much, Rick, for this. I always enjoy coming on the radio show with you. It's always a pleasure for me.
Thank you so much.
But my email, again, is david@gophawaii.com. Again, it's gophawaii.com. So please feel free to email me anytime.
All right, that's a deal. David, all the best. Thanks so very much. Take care.
Thank you so much.
Okay, bye now.
Bye-bye.